Greetings. It's New Year's Eve, December the 31st, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Article Podcast from Denison Forum. Today's daily article is written by our CEO, Dr. Jim Denison, and narrated by yours truly, Chris Elkins. Can you think of something you were afraid would happen this year but didn't? Or that you were afraid would not happen but did? The 16th century French seer Nostradamus was thought to predict for 2025 that a great pestilence from the past returns, no enemy more deadly under the skies, leading some to claim that a pandemic worse than COVID-19 would arise during the year. Others found in his writings a prediction of an asteroid impact with apocalyptic consequences. He's been wrong so far, though the day and the year are not yet over. 100 years ago, the quote-unquote experts predicted that by 2025, people would live to be 150 years old. There would be only three nations, the United States of Europe, and China. The Earth would utilize one common language. New York City would build triple and quadruple deck streets to accommodate its traffic, and there would be world peace, a common world currency, and universal free trade. And a seminary professor in Pennsylvania had the audacity to claim that people would use a pocket-sized apparatus for communications to see and hear each other without being in the same room. What a crazy idea. Speaking of communication devices, 25 years ago today, much of the world was focused on what seemed to be a calamitous threat. I remember well the Y2K, short for year 2000, scare. The claim that global computer and banking systems, power grids, transportation networks, and other critical infrastructure would fail when the year changed to 2000. The reason? To save memory space, early computers used two-digit years, such as 97 for 1997, which would cause them to misread 00 as the year 1900 rather than 2000. No one was sure what might then happen, and there was no shortage of fear-mongering. Time magazine ran a cover story titled, "The End of the World as We Know It?" Survival guides proliferated. A movie imagined cascading Y2K catastrophes from blackouts to nuclear meltdowns. However, the day passed in relative calm, largely because governments and businesses spent an estimated $300 billion to $600 billion mitigating the glitch. Now we have another computer cataclysm to worry about. Many older systems store time using a counter that maxes out on January the 19th, 2038. This could send clocks back to 1901, potentially crashing older software that depends on accurate dates. If you're like me, you're thinking that this threat is 13 years in the future while you have fears enough to worry about today. However, it's understanding the true nature of the future that enables us to face the fears in the present. Everyone knows that the future is unknowable. What we sometimes fail to understand is that the present is unknowable as well. I could have terminal pancreatic cancer, such as former Senator Ben Sasse has been diagnosed with, and not know it. Conversely, researchers could right now be perfecting treatments for my various physical challenges that will render them gone in the new year. You may think your current job is secure, or you may think you'll never find employment again. Right now, forces unknown to you could be at work that will render you right or wrong. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle demonstrates that physicists cannot measure both the position and the speed of a particle at the same time. Something like this is at work in my present circumstances. As I said in my home study writing this article this morning, I am ignoring the upstairs furnace that may at this moment be catching fire. If I were monitoring it, I could not be writing these words. And there's the matter of attitude. Henry Ford is often credited with saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. What you decide about your circumstances today will go a long way toward shaping them tomorrow. I say all of that to say this. The omniscient God who created and transcends time is our best source for facing our fears of the future. He sees tomorrow better than we can see today. Our Father can therefore prepare us now for what comes next while shaping our unseen circumstances for His greatest glory and our greatest good. All the while, from Philippians 4, verse 7, he transfuses us with the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, when we trust him with our fears. The Christ who came at Christmas promised he would be with us always to the end of the age, stated in Matthew 28, verse 20. His indwelling spirit will never leave us, according to 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16. His all-conquering love will never abandon us, promised in Romans 8, verses 35 through 39. Isaiah 43, verses 2 and 3 establishes that he will wade with us through every river and walk us through every fire. He will open and close doors in accordance with his perfect will, as we read in Acts 16, verses 6 through 10, and lead us through each day until the day he leads us home, promised in John 14, verse 3. Homer was therefore right. All men have need of the gods. So, name your greatest fear for the coming year and place it in his hands. Then claim his promise in Isaiah 41, verse 10. Fear not, I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. David testified in Psalm 34, verse 4, I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. When we do the former, we can say the latter. According to Winston Churchill, fear is a reaction, courage is a choice. What steps will you take to choose courage in Christ today? The Denison Forum team is grateful for our daily article podcast subscribers. Please share the podcast with others. And for more news discerned differently, visit denisonforum.org.